When you think about poverty, what comes to your mind? You'll probably think of not having enough food, not having a home to live in, or not having enough money. You are correct. All those thoughts are under the term poverty. But what is its general definition? Poverty is not about money only. It's the state in which a person can't access to services such as healthcare and education. They also lack financial resources and essentials because of the low income or no income at all. Poverty has caused some problems in the USA, like changes in the country's economy due to less education, more health problems, high divorce rate, and overpopulation. Poverty also led some people to live in high crime areas, which is why there should be some actions taken to deal with it. It is possible for USA to cut poverty. For example, between 1959 and 1973, poverty rate was cut in half due to a strong economy, investments in family economic security, and new civil rights protection. Here are some steps that can help in the reduction of poverty. Increase access to education. Education develops skills and abilities that are needed for survival. Create jobs, like investing in infrastructure by rebuilding bridges, railways, roads, schools and libraries, neighborhood parks, and abandoned houses. Develop renewable energy sources, and make other common sense investments. Support pay equity. Women with similar full-time jobs as men do not earn the same amount of income, they earn less. Action must be taken to ensure equal pay for equal work. Provide paid leave and paid sick days. The United States is the only developed country without paid family leave and paid sick days, making it difficult for millions of American workers to care for their families without having to sacrifice their needed income. Expanding Medicaid. Expanding Medicaid means more than just access to healthcare. It frees up limited household income for other basic needs, like paying rent and putting food on the table. Having health coverage is also an important buffer against the economic consequences of illness or injury. Unpaid medical bills are the leading cause of bankruptcy.
There are many reasons that causes poverty throughout the world. In this video, I'm going to let you through some of them. So the first cause we have here is inequality. Inequality and discrimination is one of the biggest problems that we have faced and we are still facing till now. Inequality could be because of race, religion, gender, political affiliation, or any other factor that people would consider as quote-unquote not normal. People have faced a hard time getting a well-paid job because of discrimination. Second case we have here is conflict. Conflict is one of the most common risks that drive to poverty. Conflicts could be war or even violence within the country itself. For example, people in Syria have had their homes and lands all destroyed, which led them to flee outside the country with little to no belongings with them. Also, women who had lost their source of income killed through these conflicts would have a hard time getting their feet on the ground with such circumstances. Other type of conflicts, as we said before, is violence within the country. And for example, for that, if farmers are worried about their crops being stolen, they wouldn't invest in planting, which would return lead them into living in poverty. The third cause we have here is climate change. Climate change, mostly considered as a light subject, can cause a major problems not only to our planet but also to our community. Whether it was little water or too much water, really hot or really cold, it all affects different groups of people in different parts of the world. Fourth cause we have here is lack of education. Not every person without an education is living in extreme poverty, but most of the extremely poor don't have an education. There are many barriers to education around the world, including a lack of money for uniforms and books, a bias against girls' education, and many factors that causes the other causes of poverty. Education can open a future for jobs and a way to enter income into the household. The fifth cause we have here is disability. Having a disability could be really challenging if there's no one to give a helping hand. Disability limits the chance of employment even if it was minor, which opened doors to discrimination. The sixth cause we have here is natural disasters. Haiti earthquake in 2010 led to over 200,000 deaths, 2 million homeless, and 3 million people in need of emergency aid. Underdeveloped and developing countries are systematically less prepared than developing ones to face the consequences of a natural disaster, such as hurricanes, earthquakes, droughts, and floodings. Therefore, they take longer to recover from these events, often finding it impossible. Last but not least, we have lack of infrastructure. Infrastructure includes roads, bridges, the internet, public transport, and more. When a community or families are isolated, they have to spend a lot of money, time, and energy getting to places. Without good roads, traveling takes forever. Without public transport, it may be next to impossible to get to your job or even to the store. Now, the next topic we're going to talk about is how is economic and social well-being measured in the US? For many years, especially since World War II, economists have been using GDP as the measure of economic well-being. GDP is a good measure of the size of the economy. It sums the market values or prices of all the final goods and services produced in a certain duration by one country. But later, economists found that the GDP doesn't cover everything in the country's economy, so they included other procedures, such as Human Development Index, ecological footprint, and genuine progress indicator. Now, for the social well-being in the US, it is measured by the objective or social indicators such as educational outcome, household income, GDP, life expectancy, and poverty rates. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.